I just wanted to provide an update of why there's not been a lot of sailing content. As soon as I took delivery of this boat, I wasted no time getting started on some of those small projects, and I haven't taken the time to slow down to tell my viewers more about what I plan on doing or what needs to be done. I think I've knocked through about 20 different items, but they're all small, like, cleaning up the teak and reorganizing and cleaning. Some of the bigger stuff that I'm waiting on before I actively start sailing is the keel bolts. We want to get those replaced. I've ordered them from Jeanneau. I've received all the bolts, all the nuts, and all the washers, but I'm still waiting on the backing plates, and I'm not real sure when they're going to come in, so we're looking at different options of how we can have those made. Once I get those parts in, we're going to haul the boat out, and we will get a new fresh bottom job. There's a couple through holes we want to replace. There is also one seacock that needs to be replaced as well, and we will change out those keel bolts. They have a very specific protocol. They're going to set the boat down on the keel, I think like 90% of the weight, and then we'll work on getting those old ones off and getting those replaced. Worst case scenario, we take the current backing plates and we just get them cleaned up really, really well and put those back on. But hopefully either one or two things happen. The keel bolts come in before we actually haul out, or we can get these other ones cleaned up. There's also some fairing that needs to be done on the strut. We want to go ahead and apply prop speed to all the running gear. We're actually going to dig out the old sealant between the sugar scoop and the hull and get that replaced, because what's in there right now looks tired and starting to crack. We want to get that replaced while it's out, because I don't want to haul out just to do that project. As far as the engine goes, we're still waiting on a solenoid to come from Myanmar. The exhaust elbow came in, but of course, out of the 4 bolts, one of them snapped, so the mechanic's working on getting that drilled out. Right below that is the solenoid. We're waiting on that to come in. So while it still runs, we just basically hot wire it, and it's not going anywhere right now without an exhaust elbow on it. We also ordered a new instrument start panel. It's an updated version, so we have to find the correct wiring harness to get it to connect up to our current system. I've pulled off the head display for the autopilot, and I've shipped that to Gauge Saver. I think that's going to be a video all to its own. I think that's a really neat process of what they're doing, is reviving these LED screens. So I'm able to save about 70% of the cost of a new head unit. There's lots of other projects, smaller stuff that I can be knocking out. I finished replacing the freshwater pump as well as accumulator. When you saw that in the previous videos, I might go a little bit further. I had another little concern. It wasn't working properly, and come to find out it had a bit of a airlock on it. So the pump was running continuously. I couldn't figure out why. So finally I just turned on all the pumps. I knew that the GPM was a little lower than it should be, even though this pump is smaller than the one I took out, but it shouldn't have made that big of a difference. So I just let them run, and I heard that when it belched a couple air bubbles, and shortly thereafter the pump stopped running. So now it's working just fine, so I can actually check that off. What else is going on? Seems like there's a lot going on with this boat. I'm also looking at replacing the main and the different companies to work with. A couple people have recommended Southeast Asia Sails. I got an initial quote for them, and it's super cheap, almost too cheap. It seems a bit alarming, and they're waiting for me to wire over some money. I don't know, I just got a weird feeling for that, so I want to see what the price is here locally. We have a UK dealer here, or actually a rep, so he can come out and do the measurements and make sure it's all done right. There's a lot of guarantee to know how it's made here in the States if I have any problems, versus the issue with ordering something from halfway across the world, and if I had any problem, then I got to ship that back, and they're quite heavy, and we have the import duties as well as some tariffs that are impacting shipping items back and forth. Anyways, I wasn't going to do that right now. I was going to wait till the end of this season, but since we're in a waiting pattern, I might as well do that now. One of the other really cool features that Colleen and I decided to do was put French-style saloon doors on the companionway. The hatch is a very large piece of acrylic, and it's quite heavy, and then when you set it to the side, it's kind of always in the way. So we think it would make this boat much, much more user-friendly, and we found a company that makes those aftermarket, so I need to get the measurements, get that shipped off, because I think their lead time is about 4 to 6 weeks. So we're really excited about that upgrade. I've also worked on bringing in a lot of tools and equipment here on the boat, so when I'm trying to do a project, I'll have everything I need here at hand, because that's been probably one of the bigger obstacles. I'll start working on something and I'll have to run to Home Depot 2 or 3 times for one small project. So now I've got an assortment of bolts and screws and washers, and as well as it's got a dedicated toolbox that stays on this boat. I ordered decals for the boat, which include the hailing port, the name, as well as the YouTube channel to put on the boom. The first order I made, they didn't come out too well. They both stretched and squeezed the number of the decals to fit a certain area, and it's almost unreadable. So I reached out to them, they were redoing those. But at the same time, I also reached out to a local sign company, and at a fraction of the cost, they were able to make stickers. So I actually have 2 sets right now. I'll pick between the 2, and I'd like to get those on here pretty soon. I still need to go and prep the areas. So I've removed the decals themselves, but they left behind a sticky glue. So I'll use the Gooby Gone, get that removed, get the area prepped, and get those decals on here really soon. I'll probably make a video of that all to itself. I have a little bit of experience putting decals on from the fire department. We would often put our own decals on the vehicles. So hopefully that comes out okay. It's a little bit hard working on the side of a boat when it's in the water, but what I did when I was removing the decals is actually just put my paddleboard in the water and just sat on it and tied off. So it worked okay. Colleen came in the other day and started doing some light cleaning on the inside. We need to get more cleaning supplies here on the boat. We'll work on that as well. And on the lesser end, we're looking for some other stuff like V-berth sheeting for the beds. We haven't had a lot of luck of finding it, so I think we're going to have to make it ourselves or just maybe wrap it under below. I'm not too sure. We went looking online. There's not a lot of options out there. But anyways, we want to get some sheets on there just in case we do decide to stay on the boat. The AC's still not working great. I got a secondary unit on here working with the main unit, as well as a fan, and all 3 of those together is beating the heat, but it's not working like it should. With 2 handlers on this boat, I would assume that it should be ice cold down here. So that's something we're going to have to look at later. And again, it could be a little bit to do with that it's so hot outside right now. It's about 100 degrees, and you know, these boats don't have insulation like a home. But again, with multiple units on a boat of this size, I really think it ought to be cold, because I've been on other boats this size that had units, and they'll freeze you out. So this thing runs 24/7, and it just barely keeps it. Right now I'm looking at the thermostats at 76, and that's with the 2 handlers. I have a portable unit and a fan blowing. As far as the rigging, Matt's going to place a toggle on the forestay, as well as replace a bolt that's missized there at the bottom. I'm not sure if he's replacing the whole forestay or if he's just cutting it shorter and putting a barrel or a bolt on there. I can't remember what he said. I think he had it all worked out. He's also going to go ahead and replace the lifelines. I thought, let's go ahead and knock that out. The surveyor said that they were towards the end of their life, and so while I had him working on this project, let's just go ahead and knock it out now so we have a good starting point. On the list, I also had that he was going to retune the rig, but when that forestay comes down, obviously it's going to get tuned. At some point, the Windex came off of this boat, so he's going to also replace that, just in case electronics stop working on this boat. We can look up and see a better indication of where the wind's coming. I got a lot of the safety stuff already knocked out. The EPIRB has been registered into my name in this boat. I got a new SOS light, infrared light system that's Coast Guard approved, so I think I removed no less than 20 expired flares from this boat. And I know there's value in flares, but they got this new system that's got lithium batteries that are good for 10 years. So I'm pretty excited to have something that I know is always going to pass and not have to worry about it expiring, because I don't think they even last very long on the flares. All the life vests, all that's all in good shape. So just ready to get all this stuff knocked out so I can start sailing. I briefly mentioned it in another video that we had the house on the market, and I am excited to say that we had multiple offers within the first couple of weeks. In fact, they're supposed to close this time next week, so we are frantically trying to move, and moving is taking precedence over doing a lot of the boat repairs and projects. So there's a lot of projects going on all at once, so we should have the move knocked out by this weekend. It'll take us a little while to get settled in. We'll be a little bit closer to the boat. We're going to be saving significantly more money in this new house. Well, that's it for this week. I'll try to get in a sale this Wednesday. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I got to see how the move is going. For the remainder of this week, after work, we plan on packing to be ready for the move on Friday. Then Saturday we get unpacked, and then Sunday we'll have the final clean of the old house, and then we close on Monday. So on paper, it looks like we have it all worked out, but time will tell. There's a lot of stuff going on. I really wish I had more time on the books at work so I could take off and knock this out, but it is what it is. We'll make it work, and hopefully this time next week, life's gonna be a little bit easier. It'll calm down just a bit so I can get back to boat projects.
Thanks for watching till the end and following my journey one adventure at a time. If you like this video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Stay tuned next week when I join Jim on Leprechaun for the Wednesday night race with sustained winds over 20 knots. Alright, that's it for this video. I'll see you next week.